Do temperature swings really matter on your smoker? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Kevin. This is Comparison Cooking, and we are helping backyard barbecuers get to that next level as quickly as possible. Today, I've wanted to know the answer to this question forever. Temperature swings. When you're running your offset smoker, you know, sometimes you get that perfect smoke, 5 degrees difference the whole way through. But other times, you're fighting a battle the entire time. So today, I wanted to use my Traegers and put them to the test. One of them we're gonna hold steady at an even temperature the entire cook. The other one, we are going to have that thing swinging in temperature. Every 15 minutes, we are making major adjustments to the temperature. And we're gonna see how both barbecue ribs come out. So what I wanted to do for this experiment was I wanted to set my Traeger Pro 780 at 275 and just hold temperature at 275 the whole time. And then my Traeger Ironwood 885, that was going to be my guinea pig to have the heat fluctuations going up. So we're gonna set it at 275, but every 15 minutes, I'm going to adjust the temperature to 300 down to 250. And we're gonna make drastic swings. So when it goes up to 300 from 250 all the way to 300, that's gonna be the pellets rising it up. But when we need to go down from 300 down to 250, I'm gonna open up the lid, let all that hot air out, and have a drastic change in temperature. We're doing 2 racks of ribs today, both baby backs. I try to get them as close to size as possible when I went to the store, but we're going to look for tenderness. Is the one with the heat fluctuation, is the tenderness going to be completely different than the one that was steady Eddie? And the other thing we can look for is juiciness. Is there going to be a big difference between these 2 racks of ribs and how juicy they are? Because one's cooking at a much higher rate, but at the same time, it's coming down and then cooking at a lower rate. Will that average temperature get us to the finish line either way? Whether it's a steady Eddie or whether the heat swings bring us to that average temperature. As you can see, the results were delicious. All right. Before I get into was there a winner, I want to make sure to let you know I'm going to be adding a bonus tip right at the end. Something I discovered during this cook that really made things easy, and I want to share that with you at the end. First, did you notice that the Traegers, I set them at 275, but then the thermometers, the temperature probes reading in there, they were only showing 245 and 300 to 250. So there's difference with your Traegers, and I'm sure with all pellet smokers, if they have an inside thermometer, it's just something to be mindful of. Set at 275, it was never at 275. It was always a few degrees lower, and the reason for that is the thermometer is set in the Ironwood 885 a lot higher than grate level. And with the Traeger Pro 780, it's just a little bit higher, but there is a temperature difference. Does that matter? No, it doesn't. Because if you're setting at 275 and you're really cooking at 250, you're gonna still get the job done. But it is something to be mindful of and something you might wanna check out on your pellet smoker. So as you can see in these charts, we had a lot of difference going on with the Ironwood 885. We had the temperature spikes going. Is that going to lead to poor barbecue? Something that's just not something we want to serve to our friends. And as you can see with the other Traeger, it really held a steady temperature. It only fluctuated between 5 degrees on average, which is phenomenal and exactly what you're looking for. So with all that said, we all want to have perfect, steady temperatures all the time. But the results here, they speak otherwise. You can have challenging temperature control conditions and still come out on top. All right. There was really no difference with the Steady Eddie, even cook all the way through. Was it a smidge more juicy? Yes, it was. I really had to be tasting for that. I really had to nitpick for that. If you serve that up at a party, your guests are not going to know that your temperature was all over the place. All right. Could it have been because of the cut of rib that I was eating, that maybe it had a little bit more fat vein going through there? It was just a little bit more juicy. That could have been the case also. So the lack of juice in the one, if I'd flipped them between the two Traegers, maybe it was just a more lean piece. So I really can't say that there was a difference through this experiment today. Going crazy with the temperatures, and we're not trying to go crazy. This is for my offset smokers. We go out there, we have game plan, we want to hold 275 the entire time, and then what happens? Just winds changing directions, you open the lid, and then all of a sudden the wood's not catching properly for your next piece. It's a struggle some of us go through from time to time. But as long as you get to that finish line, make sure that your ribs are cooked the way they're supposed to be cooked to the right temperatures, you're gonna be okay. The tenderness factor, there really wasn't a difference. Now here's where I think people could get in trouble here. This was set for 275. We were really closer to 250, let's just say on average. 250, I think, keeps you in that safe zone. If I'd done this at a lower temperature, 225, real low and slow for the 3-2-1 method, and then my temperature was dropping down to 90 or 180 in the wild temperature swing one, I could see that becoming a real problem. But if you're having temperature swings in the 250 to 300 range, you're getting your food cooked. So that's where I've really grown to like this range of 275 on my offset smoker, because even if I do have more fluctuations than I want in a particular cook, you're still getting the cook done. All right. Whereas if you go low and slow, 225, but you're really cooking at a lower temperature, it's going to take way too long. Then all of a sudden you're not getting that tenderness, you're not getting that good bite through that you're looking for. So that's one of my biggest takeaways, where you really need to be careful of the temperature swings. Now, I still want everyone to go out and try to maintain perfect temperature, because that's like a badge of honor, saying that you can hold temperature consistently. That's part of it. But if you are having a challenging day, you no longer need to feel so bad when you go to the forums and say, well, my temperatures were all over the place, but guess what? My barbecue still turned out great. Because that's where I see this the most is this gonna be okay? My temperature's all over the place. The more consistent you can have it, the better off you are. But this, I feel better. Like, I'm not as worried about having a 10, 15, or, terrible 25 temperature swings. As long as I'm cooking at that higher temperature, I know what to look for, when to wrap, has my rub set. After you wrap, do these look like they pulled back enough on the bone? And you're picking up on those cues, when your food's cooked. I feel a lot better that I don't have to beat myself up that I didn't hold 275 the entire time. Just to recap, before we get into this bonus tip that really kind of took me by surprise, this was a 2-2-1 method for people that were wondering. It's the ribs, same ribs I did for this other rib video. You can follow the recipe there, or I got it off of Malcolm Reed's channel, the 2-1-1, I should say. So 2 hours smoke, 1 hour's tin foil, then 1 hour take it out of the tin foil and let that bark reset. It was really simple. I like the 4 hour 2-1-1 a lot better than the 3-2-1. It's just, I don't want to be out there for 6 hours anymore. I can get the same results with the 2-1-1 method. So I just want to get my food cooked and get on to the next thing, enjoying in life. All right, so the bonus tip that I had no idea would be awesome was, as you can see, I set my alarm clock for every 15 minutes. All right. I wanted to make sure every 15 minutes, boom, I was changing something out there. I thought it was annoying at first, but then I started to get into other things. I was recording a video for something else, our Facebook group, and I totally forgot my alarm goes off. So I stopped the production and recording, and I went and made sure. Well, now I'm thinking of using the alarm clock for a lot of other things. If I want to spritz every hour, I'm going to start setting my alarm clock on my phone for my entire cook, so that I know I could be, chasing after the kids or fixing a side dish, just getting that prepped, and then the alarm goes off. And then it's like, oh, whoa, okay, it's time now. I need to go do X, Y, Z. It just took stress off of having to remember so much, just like the journal does. And you've heard me talk about the journal before, but this was another added little touch that I didn't even know existed. So give it a try, set some alarms for yourself. You don't even have to list what the alarm's for, but it will help you say, wait, there's something I need to be doing. That's it. I need to go out to the smoker. I need to spritz. That's the hour marker. Or I need to be checking if it's time to wrap. So there's a lot of different ways you can use it, but it was a tip I didn't even know about that just kind of happened, and I thought it was very useful, and I want to share that with you. I hope you all found this kind of myth-busting experiment useful and insightful. If you like videos like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button and to share this with your friends that are new in the backyard. As always, hit the thumbs up and, all that other stuff. All right, I'm out of here. I hope everybody's doing great, and I'll see you real soon.